Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm Claire Francis. Thank you for coming back this week. Sorry I wasn't here last week. You can probably hear my voice is still a little bit croaky. So today's video we're focusing on the summer sales and we're going to look at 3 different shops and what they're offering. I always find that the sales are a good time to look at brands that maybe you might find a little bit pricey otherwise, but in the sale you can get some very good bargains, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So first of all, I've got a small haul from Nobody's Child, and this time I've concentrated not on their summer dresses and things, which I've done before, although they have got a lot in the sale, but I've actually looked at some of their tailoring. So I've got a few pieces to show you plus some accessories, and then we'll go on and look at 2 further shops. Okay, so first of all, I've got this lovely little waistcoat here. Now it does have an unusual feel. It does feel as though there could be a little bit of cotton or linen in it. It is actually 100% polyester, but because it's Nobody's Child, it will definitely be recycled polyester. And you can see it's got the buttons down there, faux pockets there, and it's got this little tie at the back so you can pull it in if you need to get it to fit. Now, I got this in a size 14. I'm just thinking of the price there. Full price was £79. Not sure what price I paid for it. I'll put it on the screen, but it was a good price. However, let me just show you this on. It does just about fit me, but it is a little bit tight. I haven't got a lot of room to move there, and it's a little bit self-conscious therefore of it pushing up under the arms there and things. Wasn't really very comfortable in it. So for me, this one isn't necessarily going to work. Also, I think I'm better with a longer waistcoat. The shorter ones don't really suit me quite as much. So my second item, it's actually like suiting. I think there's maybe a jacket that goes with this as well. I think there's a jacket that goes with the peach coloured waistcoat. Here what I've got is a longer waistcoat and trousers. So again, I got these both in a size 14. I thought the trousers might be a little bit big and the waistcoat might be a little bit small. So let me just show you the waistcoat. It comes up quite high here. It's a crew neck. It's got the covered buttons, it's got the faux pockets there, and it's plain at the back, but you can see it is nice and nipped in, so it does give you a nice shape. So I was looking forward to trying this, and it's in my favourite sort of cornflower blue colour, which is supposed to be a very good colour for me. And then the trousers, you can see they've got a zip and a sort of hook and eye thing there. There are belt loops, which is useful. There's a couple of pleats here, but they're not too bulky. Normally, if you have a little bit of a tummy, you don't want a lot of pleating, but actually they lie quite nice. The back, you can see again, we've got 2 little faux pockets there and the belt loops. And you can see they're a wide leg style with a crease down the front and a crease down the back. So I had high hopes for these. So let's have a look at these on. Now, why haven't I got the waistcoat done up, you might ask? Because it was too tight. So this was a 14 and I really, I could just about squeeze myself into it and do it up, but it didn't look very nice. So I've just left it open for you to see what it looks like. I would have to go up a size in that, I think, which is a shame because actually on the hips, it's a nice sort of shape for me, nice size. The trousers did actually fit. So I thought the 14 might be a bit big, but they weren't. So I would advise sizing up a little bit in both of these, particularly if you have a bust. But I liked them, I liked the look of it, but as I said, I would have to size up in the waistcoat. And being realistic, I was thinking, I'm not sure when I'm going to wear them. Now, if you've got a summer event coming up, like a wedding or a christening or something like that, and you want to wear something a little bit different, that's not your typical summer dress, then I thought something like that would be fantastic. It does look quite modern, almost has the Bianca Jagger vibes, doesn't it? The white trouser suit she wore in the 1970s. It does have a little bit of class about it, wearing sort of some suiting, and obviously with the hot weather we're having, the waistcoats are ideal. So this has got potential. For me, I don't think I'm going to actually order the larger size because I can't see that I've got an event I would wear it to at the moment. And being polyester as well, not quite as breathable as other fabrics. So maybe for a summer event, well, we're having a heat wave again at the moment, maybe something that's a linen mix would be better. But they have got some really nice suiting on the website there in the sale. So it is worth having a look if that's something you might consider. Something else I got from Nobody's Child was this bag. Now, I really liked this bag. It's got the embroidery detail on there. Now, it did say that was burgundy, so I knew that. However, it looked like the straps were brown, and actually in some lights they do look brown. But as soon as I took it outside, it looked a bit more burgundy. So not so sure if I like that. It's got a popper here, and inside you can see there it's got a couple of little pockets. So sort of reasonably secure. The popper is quite a good popper. I thought that was really nice, and I liked the quality of the raffia style woven material there. The embroidery is lovely. Now, you do get some of the top end designer brands doing these embroidered raffia bags, and they're very, very expensive. Now, this would have been very expensive. It was actually £129, I think, and I got that for a much better price. I will put the prices on the screen. I can't remember them offhand now. So that was still, you know, not cheap, still sort of, I think it's about £65 I paid, but it's a lovely bag. However, I'm not sure with the burgundy straps now whether I would use it as much as if it had been brown. But beautiful bag. I'll show you a little bit closer. You can see it is a quality bag, and as you probably saw, it's lined in a burgundy sort of cotton lining. So I thought that was actually a lovely bag. Not sure whether I really need it. So that may or may not be going back. Let me know what you think. So do have a look at the Nobody's Child sale. There's a lot to see there, which is very good prices for good quality fabrics. So this is the time of year to buy if you're interested. One other accessory I picked up this week was a pair of leather flip-flops. Well, actually they're not leather. They're faux leather. Sorry, can't see them very clearly there. They're just a brown faux leather. Nice and plain. I do like the ones with kitten heels, but I just can't walk in them. So these I feel a little bit more comfortable in. And these were just from New Look, and they're £12.99. But they do look quite a nice quality. They look like they could well be leather. The amount of times I'm going to be wearing them to walk in, I don't think is that great. So I wasn't that bothered that they're the faux leather. But I thought that was a nice little buy as an additional summer holiday type item. So now we're going to look at two other stores. We're going to look at Phase 8 and we're going to look at Mint Velvet, both of which can be quite pricey. But I've done some research and I've picked out the best pieces I can find from both those shops' sale. And I'm going to tell you later a little bit why I haven't ordered anything from them. That's another story I'll tell you at the end. So have a look at this. So now we have Phase 8 sale, and I've chosen my top 10 items that are in the sale this year. So we've got quite a few dresses here, a couple of skirts and a few sets. So on the left here, we've got the Midi linen dress. It's 75% cotton, 25% linen. It was £119 and it's now £79. Nice loose fitting style there with the pockets, you can see. And then on the right, we've got the Zahira yellow square neck Midaxi dress. That was £149. It's now £75 and it's 100% viscose. And you can see it has a zip there and a tie belt. Third one is the Lilac Lorhna Broderie Midaxi dress. That was £139, it's now £95. You can see it has the small button fastening at the front there, and it's 100% cotton, lovely dress there. And then on the right we've got the Carlotta linen dress, 55% linen, 45% viscose, but it does have a polyester lining, and it was £139 and it's now £95. It has a zip all down the front and it has a tie waist. Now we have two skirts. There's the Rosa Broderie cotton skirt with elasticated waist. On the left there, the white one is 100% cotton. It was £85 and it's now £42. You can see it has tiers there and sort of lace detailing. And then the black skirt is the Alva cotton tiered maxi skirt. It's 100% cotton, elasticated waist with ties at the side, maxi length. That was £75 and it's now £36. And here we've got two sets. So the white set is the Marina seamed lace midi skirt with zip fastening. That's actually 100% polyester, surprisingly. It was £119 and it's now £59, and it has the cutout detail. And the blouse there, the Marina blouse, was £89 and is now £49. And then on the right, we've got the Arnie green linen blend shorts, which have pockets and an elasticated waist. They're 55% linen and 45% viscose. They were £65 and now they're £35. And the Sloane linen shirt, which is also a linen blend obviously, was £79 and is now £45. And finally we have the Tabitha suit trousers, £59 reduced from £119. The fabric has a gold thread running through it, and they're a cropped culotte sort of shaped trouser. There's also the matching waistcoat, which was £129 and is now £65. The fabric is, I think it's 3% cotton, 3% metallic fibres and 94% polyester. And the lining on the waistcoat is also polyester, but a nice set, that one. And then we have the Macrame Bucket Bag, which was £59 and now reduced to £45. More of a sort of small tote, sort of handbag size bag there, but nice crochet macrame detail. And a little resin handle there for carrying. So that's my summary of the top 10 outfits from the Phase 8 sale. There's some really good bargains there. You know, they are generally nice quality. Even the polyester will be 100% recycled polyester, so it's more sustainable. And as you can see, there was a lot of linen blends there. So some really nice items there, so well worth having a look at. And now the mint velvet sale. So I'm just going to show you, looking through the website here. So we have got 4 beautiful suede jackets that Mint Velvet have got in the sale. So this one is £229 now, reduced from, they're all over £350 normally. And it's got the nice stitching on it there, I thought that was nice. And then the one next to it there is similar, but it actually has a crochet trim, and that's £155, so that's under half price. A nice little sort of boxy style jacket there. And then we've got this absolutely beautiful barn jacket. Now it is a darker tan, which isn't necessarily my colour, but what a beautiful suede jacket, £199 now. And absolutely lovely with a contrast collar there and the studs. Beautiful jacket, that one. And more my colouring, but not my shape so much. It's a little crop jacket, which is pink, as you can see, suede. That's just over £200 now, but amazing prices there. So maybe something to buy for the autumn. I was also really impressed with the accessories. Beautiful espadrille wedge sandals here with the gold crochet, almost like detailing. Thought they were lovely if you like a heel in summer. Gives you a couple of extra inches. Then we've got these now. These are everywhere, aren't they? They're sort of flip-flop kitten heel, which I know some of you don't like. But some of the colours were reduced. However, Marks and Spencer's do a very similar one for about half the price, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend the mint velvet ones here. But lots of different colours it comes in. Then we've got more espadrille type sandals, some suede kitten heels. These cream kitten heels there, £65 now. Beautiful. They'll go with everything, and they're a nice low heel if you don't like a heel in the summer. All your occasions, summer occasions and things, I'm sure they would go with beautifully. We've got some nice white suede detail trainers there, and lots of other nice shoes we can see. Lots of suede loafers, suede trainers as well. And some moccasins there, and more gold shoes here, the espadrille wedges, thought they were nice. And then this is, if you like the flip-flop style but don't find they stay on your feet very well, this has got a back to it as well. So you've got the toe thong, but you've actually got a back to help it stay on. £39 now they were. And some loafers there, they look quite nice for £49. And then quite a lot of nice pendant necklaces. Now I think they're here because they were quite pricey. They were sort of £50. Now they're half price. So this one has the sort of stone detail and the cord. Very on trend. And there's several that are similar actually. Now they also had a lot of nice scarves. So this nice one with the fringing, very on trend to tie it around your waist like that. I thought this was a good one. £35, and then for £25 if you want to dip your toe into the crochet trend, this was a nice little scarf that could be worn in different ways. I think round the waist looks very modern. You have to be careful what you wore it with though to not look too granny-ish. And then we've got some more necklaces here, the pendant necklaces. This one has a shell and a tassel, so it's got two trends going on there. And we've got, oh, lovely suede bag here. I think it comes in a couple of colours with a drawstring there, now £89. Thought that was very nice. And we've also got some other interesting bags and a nice little bracelet there. And what else have we got? Oh, that's the crochet orange suede woven bucket bag. That looked nice. And another pendant necklace here. So this is a red stone necklace with a gold chain. So if you prefer that to the cord necklaces, I thought this one was really nice. And I think it's about £25 again, £23. And then look at this beautiful suede bucket bag. Thought that was lovely. Now £85, reduced from 140. Does come in two colours, we'll see that later. And has a silver buckle. And then we've got a few more bags here. And more scarves, lots and lots of scarves in all different colourways. More nice bags there, leather bags again. And the little leather belts there, they're now £29, £25, I think. So they're good. And, oh, this tan bag was beautiful. Look at this tan suede tote bag with the stitching detail there. Thought that was a beautiful bag. £99 now, virtually half price, I think. So worth buying these things for the autumn. Suede, I'm sure, will be on trend again. And then we've got more of the white trainers there. A nice little natural woven shoulder bag here for just over £60. Thought that was a nice shoulder bag in that sort of raffia type style. And then what else have we got? More bags again, more scarves, lots and lots of scarves in lots of different colours, lots of different sizes. You can see worn around the waist again, worn around the neck. Lots of ways you can style those. And a shell necklace there. And then we've even got some boots, some ankle boots and things. So if you are enjoying the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm nearly there. I need about 10 more people, I think, to get to my 2,000. So I'd be really grateful if you do that. Thank you. So let me know what you thought about that and about the way I did it. I know it's a little bit more like a PowerPoint than a video, but the reason I've been doing that is because I'm struggling a little bit with the returns with some companies. So if you remember, I did quite a big Nobody's Child haul a while ago, and it took me a couple of weeks to get the money back from that. I did get it eventually. I also had a refund waiting for that at the same time from Marks and Spencer's. And then I already had another order with Marks and Spencer's for over £200 before I'd actually got either of the other refunds. So this is all mounting up quite a bit. And eventually I did get the first Marks and Spencer's refund and the Nobody's Child refund. But yes, I had the same problems with my big M&S order, which I took back to a food hall. I actually photographed myself taking it back. I spoke to a member of staff there and got their name. I tried to do everything to prove that I'd taken a parcel back there. And I did get an email confirming they'd got it. I got an email maybe 5 days later saying it was in the warehouse, and then nothing. They actually said something like, we're hoping to refund you by the 18th of June. Nothing. So I waited another week, still no sign of any money back in my account. So obviously, you know, this is all mounting up when you're waiting for the refunds. It's hard to then do another order for a couple of £100 while you're still waiting for the refunds. So anyway, a week after the date they'd said I would get the refund, I spent 31 minutes on the phone to Marks and Spencer's. And as usual, their assistants, they're very helpful, they're very nice, they did deal with it, but it took me literally 31 minutes to get to the bottom of it. And basically they accepted that they knew I'd sent the return, but they hadn't really seemed to got much further than that. And again, I had to go through it item by item to tell them what I'd kept and what I'd sent back. So again, they took my word for it, which they did last time, but you know, not a very good system at all, is it? And she actually did say to me, because they were Nobody's Child items that I was sending back to Marks and Spencer's, apparently you're not really supposed to use the food hall for those returns, which I didn't know anything about. So not very happy with that. Eventually then, a few days later, it turned up in my bank account, But you know, you're sometimes waiting there for up to a month to get the money back. And when you're doing big orders of £200 or £300, you can't keep spending out and then waiting all that time for the money to come back. It stops you being able to order again. So I'd done my Nobody's Child order, but I thought I'd better leave the other ones until I actually was sure I had the refunds. So that's why I've just looked at it on the website and shown you some of my best picks. So I hope you don't mind that. But I still think it's a useful exercise, and you get to see a lot more items as well than if I'd just done it as a haul. But well worth having a look at those accessories in mint velvet, I think, or suede jackets if you're looking for the autumn. It is a good time of year to start looking for the autumn. You know, you don't have to be just buying summer clothes. Suede will be around this year, I think. So if you can pick up a nice pair of suede trainers or a suede jacket, you're all set up for the autumn. And when those new items come in at ultra high prices, which I'm sure they will, you're already one step ahead. So I think that's quite a good idea. So hopefully, I'm hoping the M&S sale might start soon. They have got a brand sale at the moment, but it's not actually their own clothing. So hopefully by the time I do the next one, they may well have that. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the liking and the subscribing, as I said. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of footage from a beautiful little hidden gem, a local cafe which is hidden in a village in West Dorset, and I've got some beautiful photos from there, so hope you're going to enjoy that. Have a good week, everybody. Hope you survive the heat wave, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.